the month of May. Now I'm going to do some others, and I'll certainly follow up with some of the tarot here, as well as the main oracle that I'm going to be doing, which is the astrology reading cards. I don't use these ones very often, but I'm certainly going to refer to our book here, and just because I would like to get into astrology, although I haven't gone too far into it yet, just it's a time aspect for me, is my issue. So anyway, we will just get into the main energies, and then we will go forward with what's happening with the tarot as well. And I might even do the Traveler's Oracle on this one as well. Just give me 2 seconds here, guys. I am just kind of getting myself organized. So I'm going to take down my little faux fireplace, but it does actually have an aromatic scent of cinnamon for those that have interest. But anyway, we'll get right into it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take this away, and we're just going to get right into the actual read. So give me 2 seconds here while I pull the cards forward. And again, this is one that I don't use very often, but I will try to give you a general synopsis of the big energies that we're dealing with initially here, and then kind of work our way around. So we'll start out with the 12th house. I'm going to try to bring this forward so it's a little more visible. Okay, so the 12th house, this is of your life that is overwhelming. You yield to a greater cause or power. And the cards following that is Aries. So there's clearly a lot of drive, energy around you, dynamic, spontaneous, crusading, impulsive is likely. We also have the 11th house coming through, which is where the cosmos grants wishes, luck, friends, and social occasions. And we'll try to pull it forward with the tarot to see which areas that affects as well. The 3rd house, your potential to learn something, and your local neighborhood may be affiliated. And we also have the moon card. So your unconscious, sensitive, inner emotions, and responses are also relevant. So those are the big energies. I did put a few others on the side here, but we'll just see how things go as we go. All right, so we'll start out with the meanings of these cards. So again, when we get to the 12th house, this one, again, this is the main energy you're dealing with. So you would be looking at dealing with love and compassion. These are the main areas of your life. You're also dealing with spiritual transcendence, and you're dealing with forces that may not be putting you in the most powerful position. So basically, there's an area of your life that you're finding overwhelming, and somewhere in about May here. And again, it's not going to speak to all of you exactly date for date. You're all making decisions Monday, so it is going to have more of a general overtone. But again, you may be going through this period with this in mind, and it may also be something that's a little further out. But either way, there's something here that seems to be a focus around love, compassion, and spirituality that may have been external forces that seem to be impacting you in the month of May. So normally, this is an area of your life where you're allowing something to, and you're open to it. So you would be allowing something much bigger to make those changes, or to allow you to make those changes. So you would be listening to your intuition. There would be more of a laid back approach versus a very dynamic approach. But again, the cards following do indicate that there is something very strong energy motivating around this. So we're going to sort of play this out and just read the main cards in a general way first. So this one again does indicate that there is something that represents an area of your life just over the horizon here that kind of speaks to something that's not only beautiful but also spiritually powerful. So it does weaken the human will, is what the card refers to, because it does have the power to sort of spread light, and in doing so, you're not focusing, you're sort of dissipating some of the energy. So there's more of a symbolic idea around this. So you're kind of giving up to that higher cause. So it does actually speak to putting yourself in a position where you are trying to take more of a spiritual approach. You're not being aggressive in the way that you're dealing with things in the month of May. It's more of a sublimative idea where you're pulling back and you're just letting things happen. This could be where you're doing meditation, or anything that speaks to you in a more calm, compassionate sort of approach is really where you're headed with this. So any big decisions in the month of May are ill-advised, not to go in that direction, because this is really where you don't have all the facts, you don't have all the information. And of course, we did have the moon card that also came up here. So it looks like you're dealing with some of that shadow work or some other elements that are perhaps drawing on you, that are not quite in a space for you to feel like you are on top or empowered. So I would say in this space, you're trying to be a little bit more open, a little bit more not overpowering any situations. It's really more of a laid back approach to the month overall. So, because we did have the zodiac of Aries, I believe, is what was coming through there as your next card. So, there we have the Aries. Energy around you is dynamic, spontaneous, crusading, impulsive action is likely. So, excuse me, it does indicate that your approach may be one that's more sitting back and sort of letting the universe kind of unfold things for you, as it were. But it's also indicating that you have a certain amount of, I would say this is fiery energy, as in creative energy. There's a lot of compassion, there's a lot of possible passion in this period, but more. It's more powerful energy overall, is what I would say, especially with that combination. It's like something is brewing that's about to place. Again, Aries energy around you, so it might be that those around you are also in a space where there's a little bit of a dynamic or impulsive energy, or even a heated nature, or again, lots of passion for some of you, but it still feels like there's some kind of uncertainty around that. And just to tread a little bit more careful, because this is kind of a restless energy here. So there's restless energy. So this is again what's around you that seems to be not, it's sort of fueling the fire. So I feel like that's why your approach is a little bit more on the just allowing things to happen here. So again, the energy, we'll see if the tarot follows up with that same sort of message, but it does look as though there's kind of, Aries is a competitive nature. So there could be somebody around you who's in battle mode, or certainly who has a little bit more of a defensive position, and again could be a little bit more self-centered or a little bit more aggressive in how they respond to you. So that equals all of those things with, temper tantrums and aggression, and not very patient, pushing and secretive and deceptive, that kind of thing. So there's someone around you that has that kind of energy. I don't feel this is you, because your approach is to take more of not lackadaisical, but more of a restrained sort of feel to that month. So, and Aries energy around you is a lot of activity that's around you. So, because of that, just to be a little cautious and just to kind of watch things. So, then we are moving into big energy that surrounds with the 11th house. So, here again, that followed, you had the 11th house to the 12th house. So there's something here that indicates where the cosmos grants wishes, luck, friends, and social occasions. So it's almost like, because we've got the 11th and the 12th house also present here, it looks like you're kind of moving into this space. So it's like there's something around you. You're already in the energy of it, that indicates that there is a reason to be optimistic. There's hope. This is the star card, basically, where dreams come true. This is the 9 of Cups of that. So there's something here that is going to expand and kind of a world up to you. But this could be a holiday, this could be a ride somewhere, or something that is lucky for you that is coming in the month of May. There's also something here about a planned uh, social event or something like that, where you're getting together with groups of people and all of those things because of the social occasion there. So again, there's something here that's kind of lighter energy, even though you were surrounded by some very competitive energies. So again, representing good fortune, events, and this is allowing you a certain amount of freedom, to accomplish more in this space. Okay, so now, but there is again still that cautious energy, because the 12th house again speaks to something that's going to be a little bit overwhelming, and you're just to kind of yield to a greater cause or power, as the card had indicated. So again, something there that an outside force is kind of putting you into a weakened space. So, and that may be something that arises at a different point in the month. And that's why initially you're headed out with this positive, activity, but then there's something that kind of pulls you back, that affects you in some very deep way, that has you pulling back. because you do end up in the moon energy. And of course, we're also dealing with the third house. So the third house is one that speaks to an area of your life, where you have the potential to learn something or grow from a situation. So this may be something that was dealing with your childhood, or dealing with something, where you experienced this in school. But there's something here where you had a difficult time and you maybe thought that you were lacking in skill set or did not have the education to pursue something. And so there's almost something that you're a little bit afraid of in how something is going forward here in the month of May. This does indicate it has something to do around education or training, or around something that you're researching, or something that's new to you that involves concrete knowledge, or something that is dealing with a lot of information. And this is important for you to really start to really take a look at, because there's something here also in around siblings or family members that may communicate some interesting knowledge that may help you to develop a stronger connection or bond with them in it as well, that adds to your knowledge about a particular subject. We also have the card of the moon, and generally the moon is a major arcana, so we are talking about this being a very big factor playing out as well in the period of May. So this card does indicate that you are focusing a good portion of your energy on really looking at a deep-rooted issue, something that is, again, the unconscious processes, whatever it is for you, haven't really dealt with, and it's a part of your inner self that we tend to reflect with or project onto others with the moon card. So again, there's something here about dealing with or getting in touch with our inner self. And again, this thing that can put you into an emotional space, leaving you feeling a little bit vulnerable. And it does deal with a lot of the emotions, or the feelings are there that might be a little bit more heightened. So everything in this period seems to be, or I shouldn't say everything, but a good portion of it that's quite significant does indicate something around deeper issues, of things that you feel. And again, let your instincts guide you with this card, of course, but that is sort of what's guiding a lot of your responses at this time. So it's more of a quiet, sit back kind of energy is your approach, but there is something around you, energy around you, that's very competitive. Okay, so we're going to get right into some of the other cards here. All right, so let's take a look at what is coming in for May, what is coming in for the month of May for Libra. What is coming in for the month of May for Libra? Main energies. What is coming in for the month of May? Main energies around Libra. Okay, what is coming in for Libra in the month of May? Main energies coming in the month of May. Why the Four of Swords? What is this Page of Pentacles? Why the Eight of Cups? Why the Six of Pentacles? Lots of things around the past. You are doing a lot of reflection. Absolutely. That's showing up here as well in the cards. And what is the Abundance card? Okay, what wanted to come out is the, I'll straighten the cards up here too, guys. I'm just sort of laying it out real quick. Why the Empress card? Why the Empress card? Why the Empress card in the month of May? Okay, Ace of Wands. And why did the Queen of Swords jump out here? And King of Swords to follow that up. Let's ask a question in regards to relationships. Doesn't have to be a loving kind of relationship, or a romantic relationship rather, but it could very well just be someone who you deeply care about, where you are at odds. What is happening with the most significant relationship for May? What is that? What's happening with that relationship? Two of Wands. And why the Two of Wands? Two of Swords. Ooh, okay, Two of Wands, Two Swords, clarity. That seems to be a little bit more immobilized, not really moving too far ahead here, but we'll get into all of that here in a second. All right, so we'll do some other cards again, oracles at the end here, but let's just pull these other and kind of start with what we've got. All right, so as I mentioned, there is a lot of energy here around rest, relaxation, laid back, sitting back, waiting for something. There's also that energy here that you're sitting in currently. This is there. Even though I don't see major arcana, for sure there are a lot of cards here that kind of speak to energy around it's fertile energy. So the Empress definitely has that energy of mother figure. And with the Ace of Wands, something is going forward, could be with a new idea, new start, new creative project, anything like that. But it definitely represents some form of abundance or fertility or creativity, whatever that is. But you have a deep connection to that in this period. Like this could be a person for some of you, but there, whatever this project is, or this new, or this thing that you're trying to move forward in the month of May, it is growing, and it is you're being encouraged, to pursue and continue on with this new project because it is something that has a lot of potential, a lot of growth. There is also the idea that there is a new beginning with it. So there's something here that gives you the sense that you are starting on a new journey, moving towards something new. I wouldn't say this is new job necessarily for others, although this might be a secondary path, but there's something here about this being more along. Usually I see King of Wands or whatever for sort of the entrepreneurial card, but there is definitely a very strong, fertile feeling of nurturing energy and nurture a project, and very inspirational at this time in this new direction. So it's a really strong pairing for growth and passion, and especially creative expression. And it's also inspired action to help give birth to an idea and really support the idea of something. Because the moon card came out here, I do feel like there's a lot of that you're diving deeper into to really make something, uh, build in this area. There is a very strong dynamic here. Again, this could be in regards to a contractual connection, legal connection, lawyer, or anybody that has any, publisher, anything like that, that has any information to sort of contribute to something here. And again, that sort of, I believe that came through with the first cards there as well. But the King of Swords, either way, is also a Libra energy. So, and you also have the Queen of Swords. So I would say that this is more along the lines of a project that deals with more of the mental pursuits, not really, more of a connection. It's more of a business connection to me, both of the cards here. So this is dealing with people in a direct way to really accomplish something. So this is a communication. This is also using a lot of mental, ability and logic to sort of arrive at decisions. So there's something here about being fair and objective, but also taking a leadership quality in regards to whatever it is that you're dealing with here. So you are either dealing with, and I think it could actually be, but there is something here about dealing with a position of authority, but also dealing with people, again, in a very rational, direct way, not a lot of emotions in this particular situation. So has more to do with more of a vision, I would say, that requires just a very savvy way approaching something that's dealing with contracts or something that's dealing with information. And again, there's also that it's kind of an empowerment, but it's almost like you can a very emotionally independent sort of feel with both of these cards. And again, communicating honestly, but it's that no nonsense approach towards something. So when they're drawn together like this, again, it also feels like it signifies that period where you're bringing your intellect and your intuition together to be able to communicate, through what it is that you're trying to gain some leverage in. There's also something here that, again, be speaking to someone in authority. And again, this is sort of it doesn't have to be a masculine energy, but it can be, but it certainly does represent a mature father figure type here, or someone who could be in that position. But either way, there's some kind of emotional intelligence that is, and strength and reason that, and wisdom that's required, and able to bring these two cards together to arrive at a decision regarding something. We also have next cards out speaking to a very laid back approach. Now, again, I'm going to go through, I should the other parts here too. Maybe before I move on to the Four of Swords, which again is sort of that back energy. But let's just kind of reflect back a little bit with the Empress card. Now, again, this is the main energy. She is the main that's out here. So something is definitely in a position of moving ahead in a very dynamic way, because Empress is the card of um, something starting to manifest that is advancing in a very significant way. So it's almost like there could be a communication that also results because of that energy, because the three is also about something creative. It's also about something expanding. Again, Empress is also growth and creation, like I said, but it's also something that's very hands-on. And I feel like this is also you really taking more, um, again, what's odd is that there is sort of a strange duo here. Like I said, this seems to be more around, um, because your approach to things is very direct, but the way that this is coming out here does speak to feeling very satisfied and open and receptive, to an idea that is inspiring, that is starting to blossom, like something that you're establishing your idea in some way. Things are starting to have some motion. There's also that energy. The Emperor sort of shows up a little bit later in the other section here for a significant connection of importance to you. Doesn't have to be romance, could be just a connection that's very important. But again, just sort of staying in this vein of things. Even in terms of, I want to pull back the other card here so it makes more sense with the Ace of Wands. Because this is emotional satisfaction in something, this to me looks like it's emotional of a job well done, or something of a new path that's opening up to you that's very positive and has something to do with a creative project, like I said. So this also has the potential to nurture all of those areas around, um, I see less around necessarily home specifically, because I don't see the Four of Wands out here, but I definitely do feel on a more personal level. It's something that is something you've dared to reach for. It's something that you didn't think maybe was something you could imagine, because the Ace of Wands is that new passion, a new journey. It is a new perspective. It's getting things moving, taking initiative. It is definitely an action card, but it is also the start of that new enterprise of some sort. So again, if this is dealing with book writing or something like that, because that's what comes to mind for me for writing pursuits, is anything that's dealing with, or a creative pursuit. I mean, maybe this is painting or something like that, but I feel like this is more, is something that grows and expands. So however that is for you. But again, whatever this is, it feels like a new chapter is beginning either way. So there's something really significant, as this being the main energy in the month of May, that is very positive and it's improving things. And so again, it has the ability to kind of grab you and sort of pull you in this new direction. Okay, so then we go into the next cards, and just trying to flesh it a little bit more here. So again, when we're dealing with the King of Wands, again, this is more of a masculinized energy here. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily dealing with, this could be you as well, but I still feel it's coming through more strongly for me as someone that's coming in to assist here. It does feel like this is, having high standards, bringing somebody in who has that ability that could assist in a structure of something. But it is something where words matter, and where authority matters, and it definitely is something where there is a certain level of leadership and independence that comes through with this as well. Also in around your own energy. So I feel this somehow relates to you, whether indirectly, but it's for Aquarius, it's also coming through here. But again, this is King and Queen of Swords. So even in terms of, um, there could be somebody that has a negative impact on you some way, or you're dealing with a legal system, or you're dealing with something contractual, but you're trying to make a really good decision or a really strong decision. It seems to be all about communication and your ability to, the ideas, reach a certain level, enable for you to advance something. So again, also with the advice cards, don't react emotionally, especially because these cards do kind of speak to, hello, Devansha. But it does speak to, information. Mostly, I'm getting a lot of information and straightforward information. But there's also, usually with the pages is where I see that curiosity and those kinds of things, but it definitely is sharp intellect. That's reading, researching, anything like that, philosophy, anything that kind of puts you through to a path that's dealing with those elements. So fair, justice, again, reading, writing, research, anything intellectual curiosity seems to be at the forefront for me. Again, a lot of growth with things around words and all of that as well. We also have the Four of Swords. Now, again, the Four of Swords, so that card fours are all about balance. So I see Four of Swords as you again sitting back in a position where you're a little bit more isolated perhaps, but certainly in more of an introspective kind of space. Four of Swords, definitely for some this could be, it's right next to, this is the main energy, but the Four of Swords is the main energy, and it's more of a rest relaxation period in the month of May, or waiting on something, next to the Page of Pentacles. So it's almost like you're waiting on a communication. And I say that as well because I'm also seeing it, quite emphasized where, rest seems to be quite significant. There is, again, rest and recuperation, maybe a period of inactivity or just time away or escaping from some of the regular responsibilities. But there's also something here around Page of Pentacles. Oh, yeah, for sure, Devansha. I'll do it at the end. Absolutely. I tried to look at those, by the way, Devansha, but I couldn't find them. I found variations on it, but if you put it on the main, like on the main page when we communicate on the main one, because for some reason I don't have access to it or I haven't figured it out yet. From this, when I do the live reading, it doesn't show for me. I kind of glanced it and tried to remember it. Maybe I looked it up wrong, but for sure, put it in the comments for if you would. I wouldn't mind, and then I can at least try to look it up again. I did try to look up both, but it didn't look right. The ones I was looking at. Anyway, so again, Four Swords, also a Libra card here as well. Strongly coming in with, I don't want to put my email up on here just because of some of the, just because of some of the, we don't know everyone who's out there. And I trust no one. So anyway, but again, there's a period of inactivity here. And again, there's something here that you're waiting on, it looks to be. Four of Swords, like I say, could be going on a vacation or could be a bit of a retreat. Usually I see other cards showing some kind of a travel. I don't see that. It feels like there's just a period of just tired. I don't know that I really see so much frustration or anything like that, but it's almost like you're just devoting some time to you and kind of just relaxing. There is something here about because again, the Four of Swords with the energy next to the Page of Pentacles, there's something still to be looked forward here. But again, it feels like it's still in a bit of a waiting game. Page of Pentacles is something that's very grounded. It's information that I feel that would be coming through that relates to money or relates to something more tangible. But it's almost like it's not. It whatever it is that you're doing will bring a fair amount of abundance, but with the Page of Pentacles, it doesn't feel like it's in that space yet where it's kind of flourishing. It's not flourishing just yet, whatever this is. So again, I feel like it's no news is not bad news or anything. It's just the progress is still being made. So it's almost like you're just sort of stepping back, and even though this is a period of inactivity, it doesn't necessarily mean that nothing is coming of it. This is, again, rest and relaxation is sometimes we push ourselves and we really need to take that space, or life will make us take the space, so in a time that's not appropriate. So either way, I feel like it's sort of a healing, restorative sort of period. And I feel like you're just focusing on yourself quite a bit more in the period of May. There's also, again, lots of reflection with that card, lots of contemplation, figuring out how to move forward with things. But you're resting your mind, you're clearing your mind, you're releasing things so that you can go forward. The Page of Pentacles, definitely, a lot of, and I feel like this could be doing research and a lot of learning. Because you're beginning, there's a new adventure that's kind of starting here with a new project. There's an opportunity of some sort coming through creatively, and it's also correlated to the money, or correlated to something tangible that's up here as well. So it's like you're waiting on this because it has the potential for a lot of learning and growth, whatever this is. And again, there's a lot of new skills that will be developed with all of these combinations. You've got mental desire to learn, great time to focus, lots of focus energy here, lots of it's almost like you're diving into, maybe you're doing a lot of reading, or maybe you're doing a lot of something that just focuses on your personal development. But there's something around that in the May. I do feel like this is again regaining some of that mental and emotional strength that you may have. Oh, you are so sweet, Devoncha. Thank you for that donation. I really appreciate that. For sure, put up your question there. But I feel like it's almost incremental growth, like it's steady growth, but you have to be a little bit patient, for something to kind of, you know, prepare. You're preparing for something where there's going to be a lot of exponential growth on the horizon, but it's almost like you need to mentally prepare for it and emotionally prepare for it, because this is going to build a solid foundation, whatever is coming next here. So like I said, there's a lot of really good energy here, and the page does still indicate that this is still something fairly new. But it definitely is along the lines of learning and researching and words and books and a lot of knowledge based things here that I feel you're going to be relying on. So, whatever that is for you, it almost puts you into that position of student apprentice, that kind of thing here as well. But it's totally about self improvement, is what I see in May. Nothing external, it's more studying, it's more internal. But again, it's like there's a new beginning here financially, and I feel like you're going to get some kind of message, where there is going to be an advancement or that potential for growth where you're going to learn of this. And again, this could be a proposal, this could be a book proposal, this could be a business proposal, this could be anything, but it just feels like the message education is here, and it feels like you're very strongly focused on going forward and really putting your time and energy into yourself. Again, I do feel like there could be a lot of reading or a lot of researching or something here, but there's definitely the promise of some kind of great success further ahead because of that Empress card that came out there. So either way, I just feel like you are in for something, and it's still building. The other part of it is, it's very strongly emphasized, like I said, because the Four of Swords is repeatedly coming up, that I'm going to ask why that Four of Swords is coming up like that. Because, I mean, I have doubled the decks. Why is the Four of Swords coming up twice? Why is the Four of Swords coming up twice? Why is the Four of Swords coming up twice? Okay, well, this just almost wanted out here, but there's something about ambition, success, with the Chariot, a direction of choosing. Why is the Four of Swords coming up twice? Why is the Four of Swords coming up twice? Something that you're manifesting is charging ahead. It is into being. There's definitely you very strongly in this read. So it's almost like it's going to impact you in such a strong way. But why so many swords? Why so many swords in this reading? Why so many swords in this reading? Why so many swords in this reading? About resources, this is also mature energy. This is, and again, you've got the Empress. This is a huge, this is a huge thing that's coming in for you, but there's something about the practical steps have to be dealt with before something it's impacting you in a significant way. So I don't know why this is coming through in quite that way. Like I said, communication, there's a lot of resources, but everything is showing more of a focus entirely on you. Like I said, there is a lot of harmonious cards, sort of echoed in here. There's a lot of balance. There's a lot of strong, deep sense of right and wrong in a situation, not making hasty decisions. It's that might have been that a lot of communication has been brisk or may be a little bit more curt in the month of May, but there's also very strong elements of practical changes that are taking place in the month of May in regards to material matters, which will very exponentially build over time in a very significant way because all the coming out is repeating you. So again, there's something here about decision making coming in as well because we've got the Chariot. Definitely balanced decision making. And maybe that's causing some kind of inner conflict for you, but there's still a very strong emphasis on beauty and aesthetics and personal harmony and finding fairness and growth and healing. All of this has come through nurturing your creative self, your creative side, nurturing beauty, really focusing on you entirely in this period. Okay, so let's go to the next cards here. So we're almost done on that part. So what we have here is the Eight of Cups. So this is, to me, is where you're releasing some of the tension or things that have been sort of building up. There is more give and take in a situation, but there's definitely something coming through around the past. Could be around child, well, and there could be something here. The energy is just still a lot of decision making and communication yet to come in, but there's something here again, very nostalgic that you're connected to, that you're releasing something of the past. So the Eight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and we also have another six. They're all really balanced cards, but that Six of Cups does still speak to something from the past, a lot of reflection around nostalgia, but you're releasing something around something that you had emotional dissatisfaction around. You didn't feel that things were measuring up. There wasn't a lot of fulfillment. There wasn't a lot of give and take in a process or in a situation or with people or, whoever this something from the past it represents to you. So it's almost like you're turning your back toward what you feel is maybe lost potential, or at least you're seeking something more meaningful in this period. So again, I feel like there is a deeper call for you and seeking deeper fulfillment basically, and deeper personal growth. There's healing, there's new experiences about to come into play for you here, all of that. So but the cards are all representing generosity, balance, fairness. So it's almost like where there has been, I just want to ask one more thing here. Is it that the Six of Pentacles indicates that there will be more balance and fairness with something from the past, or nostalgia or childlike energy? Is there more give and take, more, or is that turning your back and releasing that situation? There's still a guarded energy, but it's still going forward. Why the Seven of Wands? Something is still in deep transformation, but the transformation that's taking place is rapid. It's rapid. Things are rapidly changing. This is. And yet there's still the Seven of Pentacles kind of showed itself, which is still indicating there's still more of a weight. So I don't know. It's still moving in the right, in the right direction. But again, there's still, it's almost like there's rapid progress, and then you have to wait for something. And then there's rapid progress, and then you have to wait for a little bit more growth before something kind of, culminates. So it's almost like there are things happening behind the scenes that you are not really quite seeing. So something is happening very quickly, and it's connected to nostalgia and memories, and you're looking back on the past, but you're also putting some things back into the past because they're in such a rapid transformation for, I would say, also for yourself, that there's almost a dramatic healing and a reconnecting with the past in a new way. So there's now emotional growth, but you're moving on because of that emotional growth. So that does also indicate that you were probably quite drained by something, because you've got the Four of Swords coming up here twice. So again, a lot of difficulty, but was essential for your growth and your emotional well-being. So either way, Six of Pentacles does bring kind of attention to the need to restore that balance and how you interact with others, but there is going to be more, time, energy, resources that are evaluated in different ways. So if you're getting some kind of assistance or help here, I would say that is fair to say that that is coming through. But I would just say that the balance has come at the expense of you changing what you expect of a situation. So it's nothing that I feel you can direct. I feel like it's more of a spontaneous thing um, that comes in here. Because again, the Six of Pentacles is still indicating that there is some kind of reciprocity there. But again, there's still some guard, and with that Seven of Wands, lots of energy still moving forward in a particular direction. Like there's a lot of momentum, especially with the Chariot, all of that. A lot of strong drive, strong momentum, big decisions. Again, you're facing the challenges, I would say, in these dynamic relationships, whether they're financial, energetic, or emotional, in ways that is kind of in a shared way. So again, there's more support in some way. There's more justice. There's more, nobody's taking advantage of the other. You're not as heavily burdened, is what I would say there. Again, there's still something here that kind of speaks to possible reconnection, actually, reunion of the past. Is the more that I kind of look at it, it's something along that line. I feel like there's a bit of resistance, possibly on your part, but there is definitely, a persevering energy, to overcome whatever that is. There's a lot of willpower to sort of stay strong, but you're still pushing forward, and there's still more of a drawing together of action. So, again, there's something here about restoring balance in a relationship or a connection. Doesn't have to be romantic. It can be those that are very important to you. But it feels like there's still a little bit of opposition on your part, or maybe both. But either way, that this situation is being dealt with differently because there's boundaries in place now. But again, still strongly feels like reconnecting with the past or someone from the past, old friend, family member, whatever that is for you. This feels like more connection versus more, business energy or anything like that. Could be a business partnership, but it definitely doesn't feel it's dealing with a project so much as it is dealing with a connection. Yeah, so again, reconnection there, and I feel like it's restoring some of the balance in your life here. Okay, and the last cards out. These ones were kind of pulled more so in regards to a connection. I would say that lots of twos coming in here, lots of decision. There's still a lot of confusion around possibly a father figure or something here as well. That is not really, there's not a lot of certainty there about what's happening there. But I still feel with Two of Wands, there are some things that are moving forward in your life. There's definitely a lot of wands and a lot of communication. So, a lot of action, a lot of communication. That does indicate that there is still some big decision that's up ahead here. I definitely feel like it represents a moment where you're making a decision, about making some plans about how to go forward in a situation. You're feeling a little bit stymied, but you're going forward. This is more clarifier energy versus where you're actually at. So, despite some levels of confusion about how to kind of move this authoritative space here as well, it just feels like you will take the first step, take the initiative, and keep going for this life change. But whatever the situation is, it just feels like there is going to be more of a dynamic around putting you into an authoritative presence. I feel putting you specifically into a situation where you feel more empowered and more able to make decisions. Again, you may not be 100% certain, of course, of what you're doing there. And I mean, as they say, um, failure is a part of success. It's not you fail or you have success, it's a part of success. So you have to fail fast so that you can go forward faster. So you fail as quickly as you can, make as many mistakes as you can so that you can finally end up on the other side. Now I've learned what I need to learn, what to do, what not to do, that kind of thing. But I just overall feel like there's a lot of unlocking yourself from the things that have confused you here, because like I said, the Seven of Cups means that there has been um, some uncertainty, and especially too because the clarifier further out is the Emperor. It feels like it's like there could, but again, there's something still around more of a connection here. But you're trying to do this future planning. You're trying to make just a lot of decisions in the month of May. You're really trying to gain some kind of control or leadership or structure, or trying to clear the path. Feels like you're really trying to organize your life quite a bit in the month of May and lead yourself into creating a, you know, a more structured plan overall. So again, I just feel like the energy here in a significant number of ways. Something is very, let me just ask one last thing. What is the main energy? What is the main decision that's the focus here? What is the big, what are the decisions around? What are the decisions around? What are the decisions around? What are the decisions around in the period of May? Some kind of action. What's the Queen of Wands? Yeah, it's around an ambitious project. It's around something that relates to, and we've got Three of Cups, could be a celebration as well, as I mentioned before, coming through with the Three of Cups there. But yeah, it looks like, and you've got, again, there was Seven of Swords, creating strategy, planning, and dealing with sort of the moon energy here and how you're going forward. This is all about how you're going forward and how you're doing things. So for sure, it's around a creative project. You're making plans, you're doing some research is what I see there. Okay, and I will get to that one now here too for you, Devansha. One last card out here. What is the celebration card? Why is it further out? But what is the Three of Cups here for? Why is the Three of Cups here? The Three of Cups is around Nine of Pentacles. So, I mean, the Three of Cups, of course, is a celebration or could be a social event of some sort here, but around the Nine of Pentacles, that is a card of independence and, maybe feeling a little bit more solitary as well in this period. But I do feel like it has to do with community and friendships and everything sort of pulling together. There's a real sense of self-sufficiency. I feel further out and balanced life and abundance. All of those things are coming through. So the Nine of Pentacles again reinforces the idea you worked hard for something. Three of Cups again, bringing joy, shared moments with everybody. That's important to you, and a lot of personal growth in your career is what I would say with the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like, yeah, there's something that you will be reaping rewards for further out here. But as of May, it just feels like it's something that's going to leave you feeling more secure and more independent in some way. And there seems to be more give and take, or at least more of a response or connection, reconnection to someone or something in your past that is making a huge difference. But I mean, there's still some energy you're kind of worried there that does feel a little bit like it's blocked, but you are still moving forward, making decisions. Okay, so what do we have here? Now I'm doing yours, Devansha. Okay, so let's do the other cards first, then we'll go back to ones. Okay, so what is coming in for Devansha in the very near, let's say 3 months? What is coming in for Devansha in the next 3 months? What is coming in for Devansha in the next 3 months in terms of love, career, PhD? Will she have someone in her life? What is coming in for Devansha in the next 3 months? May, June, and July. Period frame, roughly. What will be the main energies out here? Okay, there is a little bit of a battle of some sort going on. This could be jealousy, connection. Something here around Gemini as well could be present. Why is this connection? Why is there a battle or a struggle? Why is there a battle or a struggle in a connection? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why is there a battle or a struggle in a connection here? And again, it feels like jealousy. There's something here about somebody sitting back, not doing anything. I'm not sure why. Why is the Four of Swords here? It's almost, again, you're in that space. We kind of have sort of a similar thing going on here. There's something about, somebody sitting back about a higher connection or moving higher connection. This could be corporate, this could be matrimonial. Let's just see, why the Hierophant here? Why is the Hierophant here? But I feel like there is a battle around a connection of some sort. Again, could be Gemini, air sign energy, Libra, Aquarius. Why is the Four of Swords with the Two of Wands and the High Priestess? Or Hierophant. Okay, could be around a young person, but there's definitely some more of a positive outcome. Ooh, and there's also the devil that's present here. There's something toxic. There's something that's not healthy about this, but you're from it. Um, that situation still there's not. I would say things are still going in a. And again, even at the bottom of the deck, again, this is a deck I've doubled up some of the cards, but you still got higher connection there. Why is this energy still protected, and why is it showing up as a devil energy, as toxic or I mean, this could be a codependency kind of situation as well, but why is that energy still here? Leo might be also present with this energy. Capricorn is also coming through. These are big energies. This was very, very big energy. So why is that toxic energy here with it being protected? Are they getting back together? Is this a new connection? Why is this still okay? Well, Leo is right beside that Capricorn sort of energy. What's coming in quick is some kind of a communication of some sort. Could be Taurus energy as well that you're hearing from one, but something about money, resources. There's been a lot of hardship or exhaustion or burnout on some level. You've had to really push through a situation. Why are we still seeing, and I definitely still see something here with money. I don't know why. The independence. This is independence coming through much faster than you think, actually, because the Ten of Wands is coming up as an end card. So going back to the relationship, why is that relationship card so significant? Is that connection too toxic to return to? Is that connection too toxic to return to with the devil energy? Is that connection too toxic to return to? There is practical matters at hand with that connection. It feels like someone feels they're not good enough. The other person feels like they're waiting on something, and it's almost money. What's coming in quick is sort of a flirty in and energy, somebody showing up. Libra energy is also coming in here. I'll bring the cards forward as well. But there is definitely an end cycle that's coming in here pretty quick. There is something here that still talks to me about a lot coming through in a very masterful, slow, practical way around the home front. But there's going to be, yeah, there's still a lot of worry and a lot of concern. But I still feel like the main cards out, and I'll just sort of flash the Devansha. I still feel like there is, a lot of reciprocity, a lot of help, support that's coming through for you, even around the home front. There's still some, boundaries, of course, being set, but the money is coming in. It's just very slow moving. You are finishing up a very successful cycle. You are pretty much there. You're almost in the end of it. Because these are clarifiers are a little bit further out, but you have like nine of pentacles. It's going to be some here that brings you a certain amount of justice here. But I feel like in terms of a connection, I feel like this person, there's still something that centers in around money, because we've got somebody who doesn't really have the same earning power, is what I would say here. It's almost like they're planting seeds for success, but things are still in a period of lack. There's something, imbalance between, somebody who feels quite secure with themselves. Let me just see who that, because this one looks to be a very stable energy, but it's not. Again, we had some of the other cards come over here around a very long-term connection. Something was toxic, something was codependent, or something was just not very, it wasn't very healthy, and it felt like there was imbalance there. And those cards, I mean, Leo, Capricorn, and I just feel like those are big, big, big players. So whatever that connection was, it felt like some very significant events took place. But the energy I'm seeing here with this new one here, I don't even want to say it's a new one, because this is somebody who is like, it feels like a really strong, loving connection here. But it's almost like something still can't go forward because there's a pause. They're still waiting on something around seeds to be planted. Somebody doesn't feel good enough, I would say. It's almost like they're in and out of your life. The Knight of Wands, does represent someone who's still not quite committed to a situation. But there is more growth further out. So I feel like what's currently present around you right now is that energy. So if there's something that's a little bit further out, that might come up a little bit later. But right now, I just want to find out what's coming in very quickly is resources and some kind of something of a practical nature. So let's just kind of look at that first. So, and then we'll kind of break it down here a bit. That was just sort of general synopsis, but because the Eight of Wands, again, you could be getting some kind of quick communication in this next short little while, because the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who does, wise moves with their money, but I definitely feel like it's of a practical nature. So, and we'll go into Arjun, but right now, and it kind of feels like it could be him actually, because what I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing a second person here in the next 3 months anyway. At least what I'm seeing here is some kind of rapid development around, there's a lot of quick momentum about handling your practical life in a very stable way. So whether you're managing your work or your relationships, whatever your personal goals are, it feels like you're able to sort of navigate through that really well. And there's a lot of long-term success and security. It's not just coming through on that one card, but we've got it in several cards. You are extremely close to wrapping up, finishing up something. You're very, very close to it. You're sitting here with the Ten of Wands. It's been a burnout situation. It has been very difficult to complete something. The Ten of Wands does indicate that there has been a lot of, transition to kind of move to this mastery, this level of mastery. And especially when it's coupled, again, this is more for out energy with the, these are clarifiers, but either way, you're still in the energy of the 10. So the 10 does tell me heavy workload. You've needed to put in a lot of hard work. There's been a lot of added pressure. This is something where you have really had to examine kind of your lifestyle, and able to kind of push through, because this is where when you kind of push yourself this hard, it's almost like you're forced to put up barriers in certain places because you have to be able to focus more intently on others. So again, you're putting up the boundaries because you're doing it all, a lot. So this can be workaholic energy. This can be, anything where you're putting just too much time and energy into a commitment over in one particular area of your life. But just know that it's not wasted energy. It's an evolution of you. So it really lets you know what you're made of here. So again, when we get to, it's right next to the Strength card, and when you get to that Strength card, I mean, this is something that's really, it's a powerful connection. It's a powerful force. It's cards that tell me that, you've come out. I don't even know that you knew you were as strong as you were to kind of get to this other side of things. Because that Strength card is a lot of endurance that, has been required for something. So I just feel like overall, this is just something that tells me you're almost, like I said, you're almost to the very end here. And the Temperance card is also out here as well. Well, actually, we'll get to that one here in a second, but because that one is in around more of the relationship aspect of things. So I do want to touch on that maybe separately so it doesn't confuse things. But whatever, a lot of willpower, a lot of determination to get there. Strength card. So again, your endurance is really paying off. And it's actually become a personal characteristic. Like, this is strong personal characteristics. When we get to that kind of energy, especially at trusting, when you push this hard, like I said, it's having a strong belief in the direction that you're going. It's raw courage to get there. And because of that, you've had to sort of tame things within yourself as well as make things external. But again, there's something here about having a lot of pride and determination has allowed you to get to that. It's taken an enormous amount of energy to get through those obstacles. But again, it's putting you in a stronger position because you are now in that space of, independence, still feeling a little bit maybe lonely at this time. But again, I still feel the energy is all around you that things will change. So, what I'm seeing here, again, I mean, that does indicate that there is kind of that energy of being broken there, with the sun, the sun and, well, actually, even when I say the Ten of Wands and that Strength card, I mean, there's just such a powerful, part of yourself that you're starting to realize, that combination is really someone who is incredibly responsible. So, you've accumulated a lot of force and reserve to deal with pressure, situations. And that will help you pay off something. It'll be something that you will need going forward, because you can rise above those challenges. You can be patient. You can have emotional control and endurance, as long as you remain composed and calm and determined. But again, there's something here with that Sun card and the Devil card that does indicate that there is, like, as far as this part is relationship for sure. So there's something here, Devonta, that kind of speaks to me as, um, there's something so positive here. Um, there's still something positive in this connection. It's like there's, because the joy card signifies like the good times in a situation where there was a sense of freedom. There is some truth, some things that were once hidden that are now, a lot more clear. And again, there's something about seeing it for what it really is. And sometimes when we go back to a situation, there was something I remember reading. When you go back to a situation, you have to be careful not to go back to a situation because of what you thought, it represented to you, because the person may very well have changed. So you have to kind of meet them on their own terms, see who they are now, see what, if the beliefs and the values and everything still line up, because you don't want any of this energy, the illusions, you don't want any of that unhealthy relationship or attachment to, what you think was how it was before, when it's actually something else now. But either way, again, this is kind of, illusions of control and facing fears. But again, this is still something of a psychological nature that's kind of draining on you, but it does illuminate those negative patterns and those cycles. So it does help you to clear up some unhealthy habits or work through some of the fears. And looking back on that situation, what were the dependencies? What were the things that you had to what were the negative influences? How would you think about it differently? How would you approach the situation, unable to sort of break away or break free from that repeating trigger? It's, you have to, unable to go forward, you have to free yourself from something that enslaved you or made you feel trapped. You're trying to liberate yourself and heal yourself. So that does take a whole new set of tools, so again, it's not back to a situation because of what you thought it represented. It's accepting it for what it is. And how will you then deal with any triggers that come up, any temptations, or anything that's unhealthy, or anything that reminds you of that setback energy or that old. So again, it's trying to really gain an awareness around what you might be susceptible to, but you're trying to emerge stronger and more liberated. So you're looking for a healthy attachment. It's having boundaries, but not changing someone else. So it's accepting who they are, and how can you work with who they are, being your own worst enemy or your best friend. So, you want to deal with the negative influences by looking at, is there a potential for growth in those areas? If there's not a strong potential for growth, you're going to have a hard time really going forward. But again, I still feel like, there's some hope in that situation because of, the Temperance card. It's almost like there's some things though that have to be still dealt with. But the Temperance and the High, or the High Priest, I mean, it's still, strong commitment. It's still very strong energy around, balance, and there's guidance, there's wisdom. There's something here about doing things in a moderate way, practicing patience, finding the middle ground to things, trying to heal the aspects of self and able to kind of come together in a connection where it will allow things to unfold at their own pace, right? You have to trust the timing in this situation, because what I'm seeing here is this person is still sitting as a Page of Pentacles. And even though there is still a lot of potential, and I think this is Arjun. Let me just ask one last card on that one. But there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of tradition in this connection, and there's a lot of learning that's still taking place. And again, there's a lot of faith. in this connection. There's something, there's still a drawing together of this connection, but something is out of balance. Is there still hope for this connection? Is Arjun still interested? Is Arjun still interested in Devansha? Is Arjun still interested in Devansha? Is Arjun still interested in Devansha? There's disappointment. There's a level of still some distance here, though, but it looks like there's still something to work on. I don't think this is a hopeless situation. It's almost like, again, there could be a communication or something coming through, but it's almost like, does he still have interest in wanting to go forward with Devansha? Because I'm not seeing love energy, like big, warm energy here. So I don't feel like he's moving forward in that direction, but I'm not sure why. But there's still some kind of potential there. Is Arjun still interested emotionally? Yes, but it seems like it's very neutral energy. Again, I feel like a lot of family connection with this. I don't know if family somehow introduced you or kept you together or like, kept things. But there's something here about a family connection, and it feels like there's still a lot of inner struggle or fighting or jealousy. And for sure, there is still some hope with this situation. But again, the Ace of Pentacles is not a strong love energy coming through, and it does. If to me, it's not to say that isn't there, but there's a lot of focus on money with that connection. Well, you may not want any more, but it still feels like there's distance. But it just feels like there's lots in regards to money that is a big issue there. And I don't know, like I said, if there's something around family or money or legacy, but there's jealousy. There is someone here. Again, there's a Page of Pentacles. There's someone here with the Page of Pentacles. But there's slow moving energy pentacles. There's something here that's still around money. Lots and lots and lots and lots around money. I would still say that right now, as far as the love life part of things go, in the next 3 months, I don't see anything kind of moving away in or like moving in that direction. I feel like there is a committed relationship here for you. I do feel like there is, very strong marriage potential with something. So I don't know who this is, but there's definitely something here about creating a stable, strong future. There is energy around definitely a strong connection, deeper commitment for sure, and a very secure and stable financial future together, whoever this is. So I don't know who this Page of Pentacles is over here, but this energy here isn't moving forward with the Arjun thing, even though there's potential there. But what I see here with the Page of Pentacles with the Two of Cups, that one still looks very good. And it looks like, but it just feels like, it's a really good connection, but it's very slow moving. It doesn't feel like it's moving ahead. There's a lot of potential for growth. There is a deep emotional connection. Definitely feels like there's a lot of curiosity. And I feel like you could even be learning together. I do feel like someone is here. Like it's like, I do feel like someone is coming in here. There's just too many cards of slow moving energy. But I just feel like there's a lot. I don't even know if this is coming through a family connection or friend or somehow tied to family or something like that. But whatever this is, there is early stages of a relationship. There's a strong desire for stability and long-term growth for sure, because there is building a strong foundation. We have the sorry, where was it? It came in twice, the Hierophant. But again, this is kind of like, to me, marriage, contractual, stable energy. I feel like someone is here for you. And I feel like it's a really strong commitment to grow together, especially with both having the same like-minded sort of state of mind, because there's so much around finances, meaning it's a deep emotional bond, but it's also with the same values. And I feel like whatever that connection is, it's very it's just a very strong mutual connection. Like I said, I feel like you can really trust in that. It's something that will grow. It is slow moving, however, but it's built on solid ground, and that matters, because that's, your foundation is where everything, make or break. There's always going to be problems or difficulties in a situation. But for sure, if you have a strong foundation, you can weather whatever comes. But there's also a lot of energy around a lot of responsibility. So I don't know if it's more on one person or another, but it definitely feels like the planning's together, but there's a lot of responsibility. So I don't know if there's a lot of responsibility in a business or something here, but either way, it's a lot of long-term investment, a lot of long-term growth. And again, just it feels like somebody could be kind of in and out here for sure. But I see a lot of energy. There still could be air sign relevant with, you know, conversely the grounding signs, right? Because the Knight of Pentacles is that energy of like, to me, that it feels like you've got at least for sure two people here, but there's with the Knight of Pentacles, that's someone who is not quite in the mature energy yet, could be around 20s, 30s, whatever, but it's definitely somebody who's a little bit more patient, practical, protective. There's a lot more stubborn as well. They approach their responsibilities in a way that's very hardworking and dependable, but they also need to organize everything before anything gets done. That's who I feel like it feels like you still have a choice, because there's too much energy around more than one here. So I feel like you've got something that again, I think it's really your choice, because you have some options here. I feel like you set financial goals, and so does this person. They stick to them. And I think that's what's building the long-term security. But I feel like the focus is on steady income for sure on both sides of things. Again, there is still someone here with the Knight of Wands energy that was coming through. And to me, it's like you're trying to debate a choice or make a choice or something here with that. So again, because Knight of Wands is dealing with somebody who's, a little bit more charismatic, inconsistent, shows up, love bombs, then disappears, that kind of thing. Doesn't have to be quite as extreme as that, but somebody who likes to travel around or be a little bit more adventurous, that kind of thing. So again, that I feel like there's still some choices here about actively searching between, what it is that you want. Somebody who's really confident and enthusiastic and entertaining and, could be more passionate, but the other is completely opposite to that, with the more practical, steady, stable nature. And that seemed to be around your home front. You have a lot around home front. So again, it's like there's a choice between the two. But I don't know if you're meeting one of these through someone from the home front, but there's something here about having more than one choice. So I would leave it at that for now, because I mean, you're moving into this energy, but again, the main energies out is still sort of dealing with some of the overload. You're in the 10 cycle and is still in a little bit of that rest relaxation, but that energy is all around you. It's all around you. Partnership, coupleship, matrimony, even all around you. There's nothing here that tells me that is not going to happen. It just feels like there's still some other things that kind of have to fall into place before that really does sort of adjust. Yeah, that sounds right. It doesn't feel like you're quite in the space to let go of career situation in any way or move that ahead in any particular direction, because it feels like Feels like you're in a little bit of a waiting game right now, but it's still moving ahead. So nothing dramatic happening in the next 3 months, but that energy is all around you. And again, whoever this is with the steady person, with that person feels like it's around some kind of family connection. The other person is just a little more free floating, kind of in and out. Like I said, don't know where that one's coming in, but the other one seems to have more of a connection around your people that you know. Around your foundation. So hopefully it gives you a little insight. Thanks, Devansha. Always love seeing you. You are definitely my number one fan, and I totally appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for May. I might try to do for June here, just depending on how late it gets. I have to go do one more little thing here, and then I'll put another read. So keep moving forward, guys, and love to see you there. And until next read.